Welcome back, folks. Women's basketball has taken over the airwaves, and quite frankly, it's taken over Sioux City as well. The NAIA National Semifinals took place earlier, and the Dordt defenders found themselves with a chance to return to the title bout. But they'd have to get past Cumberlands of Kentucky. In order to get there, it will be the defenders getting the first field goal of the game. Macy Severs dishes the ball to the corner for the corner three from Bailey Beckman. But the Patriots come on strong in the mid portion of the first half. That includes a long two ball from Leanna McNulty as the shot clock buzzer sounds. Defenders, they'd settle down though after trailing by double digits in the second quarter. This tough little floater, it'll bank on in for Severs. That ties it up at 33 just seconds before the half. The defenders have all the momentum at the break into the third quarter now. Dordt just flat out erupted. Severs dishes to Beckman for another triple. That makes it 59-41. Cumberlands would make a push in the fourth, but the defenders shut it down and hang on 83-73. The defenders are heading to the national championship.
None of us wanted to be done today, so I think we just got that fire in us. We were getting stops on the defensive end. We were pushing on the offensive end, and I think that's really huge for us. When we can get going in transition on offense, that's really big.
I want to say that even at the media timeout, I think we were still down 10 or 12. And so that last 5 minutes, we played really well to get us back in the game. It was great to go into halftime and to hear our women at halftime just feeling really good about how they finished the half.
Now, with the win, the defenders, they advance to the NAIA National Championship. Dordt will be matched up against the Providence of Montana Argonauts. That game will tip off at 7 p.m. tomorrow night at the Tyson Event Center. But hey, if you can't make it, we'll have full coverage of the matchup right here on KTIV.